To dream of your teeth falling out is probably the most common nightmare. The strange sensation in your mouth and the sudden realization and shock of what is going on are utterly unforgettable and unpleasant experiences. It's truly terrifying to lose a part of yourself in such a way. That's why it's only natural to seek the meaning of this dream, and here you discover interpretations by two of the greatest scholars of dreams, Artemidorus of Daldis and Sigmund Freud. In addition, you'll learn a little trick you can do to reach a more intuitive interpretation of your falling teeth dream. Now, as far as meanings go, I always start with Artemidorus and his Unero Critica, the oldest surviving dream interpretation book. According to Artemidorus, teeth were among the trickiest symbols to interpret, and most neuromancers had their own different versions on the topic. Judging by a quick web search, it seems nothing has changed 2000 years later. However, in his 3-page treatise on teeth falling out in dreams, Artemidorus agrees with the writings of Aristander from the Lycian city of Thelmis. Please keep in mind that they were both neuromancers. They predicted the future by interpreting dreams. Therefore, what I'm about to share with you is a relatively complex and thorough system of divination. It has nothing to do with our contemporary, mostly psychological interpretations. So here is what Artemidorus says. The mouth symbolizes the home, so teeth should be viewed as family members or property. The upper teeth represent those higher in the family hierarchy, and the lower teeth those lower in the hierarchy. Teeth on the right hand side represent the man, and teeth on the left the women. Moreover, incisors represent the younger members of the family or the furniture. Canines are the middle-aged people or the common property of the house, and molars are the old members and the valuables of the home. So whichever tooth falls out, this would be the family member or property that would go to ruin. By the way, going to ruin is almost a positive development with Artemidorus, because an alarming number of his interpretations spell death or pestilence, sometimes both. Furthermore, Artemidorus goes on to describe various contextual interpretations that depend on whether the dreamers are debtors, slaves, or traders. There is, however, one surprisingly modern-looking interpretation that describes teeth as needs. The incisors, as the front teeth, are the most obvious needs, the ones constantly on the dreamer's mind and tongue. The canines are the more private needs that dreamers share with the closest people, and the molars are their most personal and secret needs. So whatever tooth is lost, that's the kind of need you would find difficult to satisfy. Keep in mind this is a very brief summary of the 3-page treatise on teeth falling out. In addition, you can't help but notice in the text that his interpretations are delivered with the utmost confidence of an expert or neuromancer. His predictions are very specific, far from the usual nebulous stuff fortune tellers love to peddle. Artemidorus is on a whole different level. Just imagine what it would be like to see him in action and have him interpret your own dreams. The very godfather of neuromancy, so to speak. Now, speaking of experts and impressive confidence, it is only natural that I continue with Freud's perspective on the matter. The father of psychology was familiar with the work of Artemidorus, and he commented on Unero Critica several times in his own book, The Interpretation of Dreams. He speaks favorably of the classical scholar, and even mentions several of his interpretations to support his own psychological theories. However, he classifies the interpretation of falling teeth as a death in the family, as a popular but false belief. Still, Freud makes no connection to Artemidorus when he rejects this interpretation. Naturally, his own interpretation of this type of dream is beyond any doubt in his own words. Again, reading Freud, one sees utmost confidence in all statements and arguments. Now, if you're even vaguely familiar with Sigmund Freud, you know he makes everything about sex. According to him, teeth are among the few symbols that cannot be compared with sex organs in any way. That's why they are perfect to represent sex organs in the dreams of the sexually repressed. You can't argue with this kind of logic. He states that teeth falling out or being pulled out represent masturbation because in Austria the colloquial expression for spanking the monkey is to pull one out. This expression perfectly describes the act of pulling teeth out of the mouth. By the way, interpreting dreams with verbal analogies has been a legitimate method since before Artemidorus, so Freud's take is perfectly sensible in this case. I'm curious whether Austrian people have more dreams of teeth falling out than the rest of the world. If this is the case, it will most certainly support the theory that Austrians are, I don't know, probably something sexual. Another possible interpretation that Freud suggests is that dreams use falling out teeth as a symbol of castration. Furthermore, the Austrian doctor found evidence for his conclusions in several diaries of the psychoneurotics in his care. He even uses an anecdote of a colleague of his who had a nocturnal emission while his teeth were pulled out in a dream. Naturally, Freud admits to never dreaming of his teeth falling out or being pulled out. Never ever. Nonetheless, imagine what it would be like to have Freud analyze your dreams. After all, his perspective on dreaming is truly unique. Now, I myself had dreams of my teeth falling out several times. In some dreams, I lost all of my teeth, and in others just a few of them. Sometimes I was terrified, sometimes I was indifferent. In some cases, the teeth grew back in my mouth, which was a strange sensation on its own. And there was a time when I put them back in my mouth trying to plant them there as they were trees or something. Some of these dreams I'm pretty sure what they meant, and others still have me guessing. I've heard numerous possible interpretations through the years, such as anxiety, depression, loss of power, and loss of attractiveness. I've heard women in menopause often dream of their teeth falling out, but I've never seen an actual scientific study to confirm this claim. Poor dental health has also been credited as a valid interpretation, and even Freud says that dental stimulus is another general interpretation of such dreams. The truth is, teeth dreams are usually a very visceral experience, and it's virtually impossible to forget them. Even if you train your dreaming mind to communicate more clearly, sometimes a clear interpretation would not be possible. That's why, if you try too hard to understand and figure out a dream, you only grow frustrated and disappointed. Dreams are rarely about simple answers, especially to complex issues. However, if you approach the situation more like a dreamer and less like a scholar, you might be surprised by the results. The key here is to communicate with your dreams in their own language, with images and symbols. You can easily communicate with your dreaming mind by daydreaming, visualization techniques, or lucid dreaming. The best time to do the first two is right before falling asleep or right after waking up. For example, if you just had a dream of your teeth falling out, just keep your eyes closed and imagine you are still dreaming. That's a skill many talented dreamers practice, and Carl Jung had been doing this since he was a kid. Now, while actively fantasizing, you can pick up those teeth and plant them into the ground as seeds. Pour some water on them, add some fertilizer if you have to, go the whole 9 yards in terms of gardening. Just make it clear that you're planting these teeth in the ground and you expect something to grow out of them. You will be surprised by what your dreams can do with a task like this. Whatever grows out of your teeth, keep in mind that you're actively communicating with your dreams in their own language, and this is truly amazing. So what do you think about dreams of teeth falling out? Have you figured out their meaning? Make sure you tell us in the comments. While you do so, you might like the video as well, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. As always, I wish you the most inspiring dreams. Till next time.